Markets. I'm joined by Lothar Mentel, Chief Investment Officer at Octopus Investments. Hi, Lothar.
Morning, Mark.
Let's just start with BP. Can you see Middle Eastern players taking a stake in the company in the near term or not?
Can't see it right now. I think I very much interpret this as a plan B of BP. Finally, they're getting onto the front foot again of actually showing some initiative, but I can't see the Middle Eastern investors really coming in before the wells are actually plugged, because it's just too much uncertainty about what might be.
What about the chief executive and the chairman? I mean, how long can they stay in their positions? That's what many are asking.
Well, I was asked this in this chair about 2.5 weeks ago, and I said back then that I didn't really expect them to last for very long. Whether I want this or don't want this is not so much the question, but I think there's going to be mounting pressure on the two.
Let's talk about the general markets, Lothar. In light of Friday's jobs report, many now talking with an even louder voice about the possibility of a double-dip recession. Chances?
I think at the moment the chances are still quite low, or lower at least than that we will have a anemic recovery, not such an exciting recovery, probably a pretty multi-speed recovery as well, with export countries like Germany actually probably going to do quite well, other countries like Spain, probably UK also doing not so well. But overall, I think at the moment the markets are overdoing things a little bit. After a recovery, you always have a soft patch as you go into an expansion, and that's what's happening right now. It is just too early at the moment to call whether it's just slowing or turning over, and I can't really see the strong signals for it really turning over.
Where do we put our money, though, Lothar, right now? How do we invest in? It's a tricky environment right now, isn't it, to invest?
After the falls of the last week, I'm doing my ISAs this week.
Are you?
Yes.
So take advantage of declines. Is that the advice?
Yes. I mean, at the moment, equities just look really cheap, unless you assume that it's all going to be another deep recession again. But when you look at valuations, yes, very much supporting the current stock market values and more.
What sort of earnings season do you think we're going to have, and how might that affect the way that we perceive the market in the coming months?
The earnings season, I think, is going to be quite strong from looking back, but the thing is looking forward. As we saw in 2008, the past doesn't tell you very much about the future at all. But I think generally the markets at the moment are in a bad state. They have this feeling that they got away too lightly almost, and therefore are always very, very nervous and expecting the worst and reading the worst into everything. That's the problem at the moment. And I think that's also the problem that we will have over the next 2 weeks with the EU's bank stress tests. In the US, when the US did it, everybody wanted the results to be positive. Here in Europe, not quite sure that's the same.